This video is brought to you by Avoto, a professional AI photo editor that allows you to perform routine tasks quickly and then sync your edits to other photos in just seconds. In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 dramatic lighting setups using just one light source. These setups are designed to help you create stunning, impactful images. Some of these techniques are featured in my One Light Lighting Handbook, which you can check out at the links below if you want to take your lighting to the next level. Welcome back, everyone. If you could take a moment to like, subscribe, and sign up for the bell, I would really appreciate it. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to continue bringing you high-quality tutorials and tips. If you find this video helpful and you want to show your appreciation, consider sending a super thanks below, and also please click on the links in the description or on screen, as that will help support me to make more videos like this one. For years, I wanted to photograph triathletes running out of Lake Michigan at sunrise. So we headed out to the beach before dawn with the Elinchrom 5 in a 100 centimeter Retouching deep octabox, one of my favorite modifiers. It is one of my favorites because it's extremely versatile and perfect for both full body and headshots. To capture the action, I set my camera to 1/5000th of a second at f2 at ISO 100, which was fast enough to freeze every droplet of water in motion. High-speed sync was crucial here to balance the bright sunrise with my strobe. When you're shooting outside, the first thing you want to think about is what f-stop do you want to use in order to get the depth of field that you're looking for. Then pick your shutter speed and ISO combination so that the sky is exposed correctly. Finally, add in the flash and adjust the power up or down until your subjects look to be the right brightness. Now, if you want to do a shoot like this, now is not the time to grab that flimsy kit stand that's always falling over. You want to use a C-stand or something like the heavy-duty steel stand that I used during this shoot. I also had my friend Jonathan hold the stand in the water so that there was no chance of anything getting wet. This shoot and the next one that I'm going to share with you is part of a project that I did to market the Elinchrom 5. So if you want to check out more shoots from that project, just click on this link up here. Next up, we have a beautiful sunset portrait on a sailboat with the Chicago skyline as our backdrop. For this shoot, I used an Elinchrom 5 in the Retouching Go 24-inch softbox. Our model Sunna was positioned at the front of the sailboat, and most of the time what I was going for was having the skyline behind her and the sun setting behind the skyline. Now, when you're on a boat going around the lake in this instance, you're going to end up having compositions that are going to be front lit and backlit. So some of the time, like this image, I had a great image that was front lit and I augmented the natural light with the flash. And in other images, I had her in front of the skyline with that setting sun and the silhouette of the buildings behind her. Unlike the triathlete shoot where we used high-speed sync in order to stop the water droplets, on this shoot, I'm going to use it so that I can shoot at a very high shutter speed and a very big aperture so that I can have very shallow depth of field behind her in order to isolate her in front of the background. For this shoot with Derek, I used a 27-inch or 70 centimeter white Elinchrom Beauty dish boomed out over the set as my main light, and also it created a behind-the-scenes feel for this set of images. So our light doubled as both our light and our set dressing. One key tip for this setup is to ensure that the beauty dish is exactly parallel to the ground, left to right, because it's going to be part of our photo and you want everything lined up perfectly. I positioned Derek so that the hard line from the edge of the reflector fell in just the right place on the background. After I captured these images, I had to, of course, retouch them, and that's where Avoto, today's sponsor, comes in. Avoto is a next-generation AI photo editor that simplifies your workflow and allows you to unleash your creativity. You can apply a preset in just seconds or retouch most images from scratch in only a few minutes. Then you can sync your edits to other photos and save tons of time. Let me show you how fast it works on this photo of Derek. One of the features that I love is their Backgrounds Adjustment tab, where you can clean a solid backdrop with just the click of a button. This removes most footprints and wrinkles while maintaining the shadows. You can also further refine the image by toggling on color banding removal, and we all know how long this would have taken us to do by hand. You can also retouch the skin in just a few clicks. And speaking of clicks, please click on the link in the description to get a special offer from Avoto. For this next setup, I used a Bowen's 200mm Fresnel to create a focused light that mimics sunlight. I shot this look with the Canon RF 70-200 f4 lens at 70mm. My exposure was 1/200th of a second at f5.6 at ISO 100. The Fresnel was placed about 10 feet or 3 meters from the subject off to camera left. This distance allowed me to get just the right amount of coverage and detail in the frame, creating a dramatic and classic look. The key is to position your light source carefully so that you sculpt your subject's features with precision. You also want to watch where those shadows fall because your shadows could naturally be part of your composition, which is what was happening during this shoot with David. We also used a reflector to bounce some light back into the shadows, adding just a bit of detail without reducing the drama. This particular Fresnel has an iris inside that will let you focus the beam if needed, and you can pick up a knockoff version on Amazon, which I will link to below. For our next setup, we're going to create dramatic hard light using an optical snoot. I used the Elinchrom 5 along with a nice photo SN29. Optical snoots are fantastic for creating precise, hard light patterns. They often come with gobos, which are metal stencils that you can place inside the snoot to project shapes and patterns. What happens is that the light comes from the back, goes through the stencil, and then its shadow is focused by a lens on the front. I paired the snoot with a palm tree gobo for this shoot, and the lens on this particular snoot is a knockoff Yongnuo nifty 50mm lens. It's seen better days and it exhibits a little bit of chromatic aberration, but it still serves its purpose really well. For this shoot, I positioned the snoot pretty much directly at Danny and the background. And the reason for that is that if you tilt the light too far down or too far up, what ends up happening is that your pattern that's focused on the background ends up in a situation where the middle is focused, let's say, but the top and the bottom are going to be out of focus because you're shifting that focal plane. So it's really crucial in a situation like this when you're using your gobo to create your entire set dressing that you keep that light pointed mostly directly at the background. And then I adjusted the location of the light and the position of the gobo inside the optical snoot so that I was able to compose the shot with Danny right in the middle with all those leading lines coming right into him. And that drew the viewer's eye right to where I needed it. All right, lean over. Great. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, great. Head this way slightly. Great. Smoldering sexiness. 1, 2, 3. Yes, that looks great. Our final setup is all about rim lighting. I placed a giant 190cm 74.5 Elinchrom octabox behind the subject and aimed it towards the camera. Then I leaned a 1 meter wide or 39-inch V-flat World V-flat against the face of the modifier and positioned the subject, Dyron, between the modifier and the camera. This setup transformed a single light source into 3 strip softboxes, well, effectively 3 strip softboxes, creating a dramatic outline around the subject. The next thing I want to talk about is the hair light or hat light portion of this setup. The more white fabric that you have visible above the V-flat, the brighter the hair light or hat light is going to be, and you can control that by just lifting up the stand or lowering the stand. So if you've got really dark hair, you probably are going to want more hair light, so raise it up. If you've got a bald person, you're probably not going to want a hair light, so bring it all the way down. These setups show just a fraction of what you can achieve with just one light. If you want to dive deeper and explore more lighting techniques, be sure to check out my One Light Lighting Handbook. It's packed with tricks and tips and over 20 different setups and insights that will help you take your lighting to the next level. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments your favorite go-to One Light setup. Also, please like, subscribe, and sign up for the bell to get notified for future videos. And don't forget, if you found this video helpful, consider sending a super thanks. Thank you for your support on the channel. Have a fantastic day and I will talk to you soon.